I always leave my bedroom door cracked open a few inches at night. Usually it lets in a comforting sliver of light from the hallway. But last night, I woke up at 3 a.m., and that sliver of light was completely blocked. Someone was standing in the doorway, staring into the dark of my room. The hallway light silhouetted their broad shoulders, and in the pitch black, I could just barely see the outline of an impossibly wide, unnatural grin. They didn't move. They just began to laugh, a low, raspy sound that echoed through the house. I squeezed my eyes shut and pulled the blankets over my head, praying they would leave. A few minutes later, the laughter stopped. I slowly peeled the blanket back, my heart pounding in my ears. The bedroom door was wide open now, and the hallway light was blinding. But what made my blood run cold was the trail of wet, heavy footprints leading away from my bed and stopping right at the foot of it. I live alone in a small cabin in the woods, so I was terrified when I heard a loud tap, tap, tap against my bedroom window at 2 a.m. It sounded like fingernails scratching on glass. I forced myself out of bed, grabbed my flashlight, and shined it directly at the window. There was nothing there except a tree branch swaying in the wind. I let out a shaky sigh and turned to go back to sleep. Then, the tapping started again. But this time, it wasn't coming from the window. It was coming from the mirror on my dresser. It was 3:45 a.m. when the blaring, ear-splitting sound of the emergency broadcast system jolted me awake. The TV screen flickered to life, showing a stark black and white map of my county. A robotic, synthesized voice filled the room. A code red lockdown is now in effect for your immediate area. Do not attempt to leave. Lock all doors and windows, and turn off all lights. I watched the screen in absolute panic, waiting for them to list the reason. Was it a chemical spill? An escaped convict? The automated voice simply repeated the directive, ending with one final, terrifying sentence. If you see one trying to enter your home, do not look it in the eyes, and whatever you do not acknowledge it. My eyes locked on the TV screen in sheer terror as I realized the broadcast was 5 minutes old. A sudden cold breath grazed the back of my neck. I heard a wet, clicking sound from directly behind my couch, accompanied by a whisper in my ear. I heard that, it said.